and then pick like 2 of the questions in the discussion guide to share with the large group. So we'll go ahead and start with group 2.
Like a synopsis of what was said.
Yeah, so
Like
this one,
so in our scenario, we have like a family get together in which a couple and their young kiddos, who have been going to protests and with their whole family. So the kiddos picking up on certain things and basically, they're aware of the certain type of demographics as like, i.e. family members that are there that are maybe obviously one way or the other, and so they're just kind of hoping for peace to be kept. Everything's going fine and dandy until like there is a commercial portraying a pro-Palestinian protester as violent, and this young kiddo of this couple that's been going, to these protests and is seeing the Palestinian flag chants, "From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free," and then that just, everybody's got their opinions after that. So in the situation in which we dialogued, we read, basically it came from this point of this uncle saying how things are un-American, one of the partners trying to at first kind of circulate an open conversation of why do you think that is, and as it got further and further, it sounded like, okay, I'm going to throw facts here, facts there, and it tended to get kind of heated towards the end. And so, as we are unraveling that, I suppose, do you want us to read the actual
no,
the
I
dialogue?
picked a couple things. So like,
Okay.
like how could the protagonist of it have prepared better for this conversation? So the theme was a holiday dinner.
Yeah.
So they had made a boundary beforehand that they weren't going to bring up the topic because
Right.
they already knew a family member who is heavy-handed with alcohol gets pretty heated easily. So they made a boundary to not bring it up, but it was brought up anyway by their child. So something that was out of their control. How could they have prepared better for that situation?
Brought this piece of paper.
Yeah. Yeah, role played scenarios as if something could have happened. The unpredictables, of course, of what are our talking points and how do we de-escalate, so on and so. Focusing on what they can control, and that's largely what we talked about in a sense of, at what points do we just focus on what we can control and we let go of the things that are out of our control. The 4-year-old kid, definitely out of their control, right?
Yeah.
So
like in that situation, potentially how they could have prepared better, like you said, role play scenarios. Also, don't just go into a family gathering hoping that this topic is not going to be brought up, especially with holiday seasons coming up and post-election. Certain things will be brought up, and so then that comes to like the inner reflection. What are my personal boundaries? What am I willing to tolerate? At what point am I going to step in and say something? And if a conversation gets heated, how will I react to that? Will I step away? Will I go to another room? Will I go outside, call a friend? Will I leave? So that is thinking about how you'll react. So, group 1. What was the synopsis of your scenario? And I'll just do the general question, how could the person have prepared for this conversation?
Essentially it was someone didn't want their friend who's like an active Palestinian supporter wearing a keffiyeh to their birthday party. And basically they were having a conversation about this through text messaging, and Yeah. They were, it escalated to the point where, the friend was like, I'm just not gonna come to the birthday party. Did I summarize that, like, enough, I guess? So, what are
Yeah,
just
so,
some
like,
of the
how
things
could they
how
have-
could they have done?
Prepared better for it, so like more context for it, they're best friends for
Yeah.
many years.
Mhm.
They always done stuff together. It's the friend's 35th birthday party. She asks her best friend to not wear the keffiyeh because her family
Mhm.
will feel uncomfortable. This is a year into, like, post October 7th. The friend has continually invited their other friend group to events, they haven't showed up. So then that's where, like, this conversation gets heated. But yeah, how could the protagonist, so Dahlia, I think, have prepared better for this conversation so that it didn't end in the way it did, or should it have ended in the way it did? I don't know.
Well, the one thing we talked about a bunch that I keep harping on is the texting thing. As soon as as soon as you're escalating conversation through text, you're not going to get very far,
Mhm.
and it's like not gonna go in a good direction, because you're not actually like listening. You can't do like active listening and really like be in tune with someone when through text message, so that was one thing. What were some other
We
ones?
didn't talk, or I didn't say this, but what I'm thinking right now is that, the friend that doesn't seem to have the friend of the birthday doesn't seem to have a big opinion either way. It's just like, oh, that's such a downer, like,
Mhm.
we're not, it's just,
Sure.
don't be a downer at my party, don't make us uncomfortable. And this has been going on a long time, so the protagonist could have spoken up, it sounds like any time within, you know, the previous year, to say, this is so important to me and nobody's paying any attention to me, and I value this, and can you guys please listen?
Yeah.
So that it didn't erupt around
Yeah.
a birthday party.
Yes, that's a great point, yeah, planning a conversation prior to that year to emphasize to your friend group, this means a lot, will you please attend this event that I'm speaking at, or that this person, is talking about? I think it'd be like very impactful, like it would mean a lot to me for you to be there, so, yeah, a conversation like that could have prevented an I'm done to a major birthday party that was, very important to another friend.
Not via text.
Yeah,
No.
not via text, no.
True.
So, group 3.
So our scenario was about a freshman in college. He went to college, he met some Muslim friends and started to, begin to post stuff about Palestine, and, his friends and family at home weren't communicating with him at all about it, or liking or engaging with any of it. And then he's also, his college is being paid by his evangelical mother. And so are his groceries. And then he's staying with them for the summer, and he wears, his Free Palestine shirt. And the mother does not like that. She basically is like, her argument is October 7th. And that's about it. And they get into it, and she asks him to not wear a shirt. And there's a conversation about the Bible and what the Bible says and what it doesn't say.
So on this one, it's like a different, question that I'll pose, like what were the risks for Tanner in that situation with his mom?
Losing his funding.
Yeah.
I mean, his ability to go to college. Sounds like his only mean of financial.
So that's like another layer to these conversations too. Again, what level of risk are you personally willing to accept? and something that wasn't discussed, but we have to wrap up here, unfortunately. Finding communities to support you when you can't have these frustrating conversations with your friends and family, or when they go nowhere, to have somebody that you can talk to about that. Protesting helps. I have a plug for that, which is Saturday, 1 to 3, June Leahy. Protesting helps, coming to different events. Doesn't have to be like downer events. There's like potlucks or like family music nights, things like that, to try to raise your spirits and reinforce that you're not a bad person and you are fighting and talking about a good cause, no matter how you may question that sometimes, because it can be hard and draining on your personal mental health when you have so many people calling you a terrorist or an empathizer or a sympathizer, all of these things, and you're hearing it from all around you. You start to question yourself and your reasoning for doing this work. So it's good to be around other people that are like-minded in this cause, because it is the right cause and something for good. To wrap up, I know we have to go back to the large group. Is there any questions that anyone has? We'll do like 2 minutes and then we'll head up to the other room. About situations, anything? If not, I gave you, or each of you grabbed the personal assessment form. That's just something for you to take home to think and reflect on for yourself. There's a list of resources on the back that you could share with your friends and family, just like as a quick guide, if you're needing something to give them quickly. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.